because you emotionally would feel you don't want to, but yet it's just your emotions that they're. Yeah.
All right, guys. Welcome to Conscious Breathing with Jordan. So basically, this is about breath work or conscious. Well, this is about breath work, and breath work is just a fancy way of saying conscious breathing or just being aware of the breath. So really, every time that you are aware of your breath and of your breathing, you're practicing breath work. And so I want to show you guys a few basic breathing techniques, and also just to make sure we all have a foundation of learning how to breathe from our diaphragm and from a place of just taking full and deep breaths. Typically, we do a lot of shallow breathing, and most of the times we're in like breathing from the shallow part of our chest. And basically, it's just kind of like being in fight or flight mode. Really, if you're taking more than 18 breaths per minute, you're really in hyperventilation and you're really in a stressful state. And so this is quite normal for society. And so we don't typically know how to breathe deeply. So I just want everyone to sit up nice and tall. And just to begin, we're going to become aware of where we're breathing from. And a good exercise is to actually place your fingers on your belly. And when you inhale, if you fill up from the belly, it actually separates the fingers. So that's a good way to know. So just place your fingers together. You're going to sit up nice and tall. And you inhale, feel the breath go all the way deep into your belly. And exhale. Okay? And so this is called diaphragmatic breathing. Another good indicator is to make sure your shoulders are not lifting when you breathe. So we don't want to, we see that, and it's almost like we do it intentionally to prove that we're breathing deeply, but it's so incorrect. You know, I have a background where I grew up playing wind instruments. So really from the time I was 11 years old, they taught us about diaphragm breathing, where, you know, you're just breathing and you just, okay? So we'll do an exercise. You can rest your hands on your lap now. And I'm gonna ask you to breathe in, and you're gonna fill up the belly space. And then you're gonna take in a little bit more air and fill up the chest space. And you're gonna take in a little bit more air and fill up the throat space. So you always have a little bit more, and you can release if you can breathe. Cool. And so you'll notice that you always have a little bit more capacity than you think you do. So we just want to become aware of that full capacity. And really, the more you practice breath work and conscious breathing, the more that it can become unconscious, and you just begin to breathe deeply all the time. Or you at least begin to notice yourself shallow breathing and begin to just take full breaths and re-oxygenate the body. Cool? So yeah, let's do this breathing exercise where you just inhale for, so a good one is the 4-7-8 breathing. This will be the first type of breathing we do. 4-7-8 stands for the counting. So you're gonna inhale for 4 counts, and then you actually hold the breath for 7 counts, and then you release the exhale for 8 counts. So you're basically, you know, exhaling for twice as long as the inhale. And what this does is it actually resets the parasympathetic nervous system. So there's 2 main parts of our nervous system, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Most of us are aware of the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight response. But the parasympathetic is more so the rest and digest function of the body. It's when we're at our most relaxed state, and it's when we're sleeping and when we're healing and repairing. So if you can train yourself to be in this sort of rest and digest state more often, then you're optimizing digestion, you're reducing the cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and you're really creating more space for oxygen in the brain, and you can live your life from a place of more ease and more stillness with that. Okay, so a good rule of thumb is with this 4-7-8 breathing, it's going to be in through the nose and out through the mouth. You want to think about the tongue being placed at the tip of the teeth, like where the teeth meet the gums inside your mouth. You gently place the tongue there, and it's more like I will just demonstrate. So. you exhale, you want to make sure you're fully on empty. And as you kind of empty, you can even like mindfully suck the stomach in as you do that. Okay, so we'll do a few rounds of this 4-7-8 breathing, and I will guide you. So everyone sit up nice and tall. And you can actually feel free to put the hands on the belly so you can feel that expansion. And we're gonna
just first 4 is the breath of belly.
Yes.
7
holding. So by the end of 4, you're completely full. So
okay.
And then you're holding for 7 counts. And then you will release, not all at once, not but you kind of moderate the breath where it's and you try to really push it out at the end, okay? All right, so let's try the hands on the belly and notice the fingers widen. So take a deep breath in. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Open mouth, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and off. Hold it empty. Okay, and we're gonna inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Open mouth, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it empty, and we're gonna inhale for a count of 4, beginning now. And inhale. 2, 3. Very full, and hold. 2, 3. Relax your shoulders, and 5, 6, 7. Exhale for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're fully released. And you can take a regular inhale and turn back to your regular flow of breathing. And just notice if your state of awareness has changed. Notice if your heart rate is slowed. After a few more moments, we'll do a couple more rounds of the 4-7-8 breathing. Okay? And now returning to 4-7-8, you're going to take inhale for 4. Begin now. And inhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 3, 4, 6. And release. And inhale for 4. And in. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Empty. One more time. Inhale for 4. Fill the belly up. Hold for 8, 7, 6. Push the belly out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And exhale for 8, 7, 6. Empty the belly out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're empty. Very nice. And return back to your regular breath. Okay. Very nice. And so as we're breathing, become mindful of how your posture changes and how we might tend to hold on and clench and do tight things. Be mindful and relax your shoulders. Sit up nice and tall. That's what the meditation pillow is for. Okay? And so we'll do another reminder exercise. We'll try to breathe in. So everyone fill up your belly for 4 counts. 1, 2, inhale. Ready and go. Inhale. Hold here and inhale more from the chest. Take in more air. Relax your shoulders. Inhale more. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, and let it all go. Take as long as you need. Okay. Try it again. Fill up as much as you can for 4. Hold. And inhale more in the chest. Inhale more in the back, the sides, the throat, the neck. Fill up your face. Hold for 4, 3, 2. Exhale. Empty all the way out. And just stay empty. Stay empty as long as you can. See how long you can go being empty. Listen to yourself and breathe when you're ready. Notice your thoughts, notice your awareness. And return back to your regular ebb and flow of breath. Very nice. So just be mindful of everything we've just learned today, of where you're breathing. Make sure your shoulders are staying relaxed. Making sure the belly is expanding. Like the Buddha belly. That's the concept of Buddha, is that he's actually not fat, but he's actually full of love and chi and prana. Okay, so to slightly recap, for Samar, we'll just do the 4-7-8 breathing again. Have you ever heard of this type of breathing? Cool, so you're inhaling for 4, holding for 7, and exhaling for 8. Before we do this, I want to emphasize that we're breathing from the diaphragm, and there's a way you can check for this. If you just place your fingers on your hands on your belly to where the fingertips touch, and if you inhale from the belly, your fingers will actually separate. Another good way to practice this is if you're lying on the floor, it's very easy to just notice your belly rising like a baby and falling. Okay, so 4-7-8 breathing. We're gonna sit up nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders down. Everyone exhale all the air out of your body. And we're gonna inhale for 4, begin now. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, you're empty. 1, hold for empty. Inhale for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Return back to your regular flow of breath. Very nice. Awesome. So that's the 4-7-8 breathing. And I guess for today, the other breathing that we want to go over is actually the breath of fire. And not necessarily the breath of fire we did in yoga, not the Ujjayi pranayama, but breath of fire in a more so of a yogic practice where I'll just exemplify. So the point with the breath of fire, there's a lot of benefits to this breath. That helps strengthen the abdominal muscles, which is really important to strengthen the abdominals because the more you tighten and tone these muscles, the less space that there is for toxins and stuff to just kind of live in there. So that's important. Helps to energize the body. You can do this if you're ever feeling like tired, or maybe you're driving, or you can really kind of like charge up your own energy. You can also do this if you're feeling anxious or stressed or even angry. And it's actually a way to kind of like cathartically use that energy. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the breath, you want to exhale all the air out of your body and just once again remain on empty and just kind of sit with yourself and just notice your own state of awareness without having this breath inside of you. Knowing that you can always just take a breath and the air is right there in front of your nose. There's a statement that the old phrase, when something's right under your nose, something you've been looking for, it was right under my nose the whole time. That phrase actually comes from teachings about the breath, because the breath is always right there under your nose. Whenever we're stressed or we're overthinking, it's like, yo, calm down. It's right there under your nose. Just, it's right there. So always kind of come back to that. Okay, so with breath of fire, you don't have to go as fast as me. We'll I'll kind of guide you through it. So the concept, it's a even exchange. So you're gonna be taking in as much air as you're taking out. And as you inhale, you wanna breathe in through the abdomen. So, and as you exhale, you actually wanna get a bit of a thrust. So a bit of a, try a little bit slower. So as you inhale, fill up. And as you exhale, thrust. Very nice. So go as slow as you need to. Alright, so make sure we're doing even exchange. We'll go together now, alright? So a good rule of thumb, we can do like 33 of those breaths of fire. And on the last one, we exhale all the air out. Some people even kind of like fold forward. Whatever you need to do to make yourself feel like you're getting really empty, okay? And so everyone take a breathe in. And breath of fire.
This exercise is your talking house too, yeah? I'm very tired.
Very energizing. It's kind of DMT breathing. You know.
Electrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. You might close your eyes and see geometric patterns and all kinds of things. So we'll try it again and be mindful of when I'm instructing, at the end we're letting out all of the air and you just stay empty as long as you can. Don't worry about anyone else's journey, it's your journey, you know? So let's try it again. Make sure the inhale is nice as like, don't want to just hear the okay, even exchange, all right? Reset, let all the air out, and we'll begin. Is everyone back? No? Take your time, take your time. Very nice. This is really good for, like she said, the abdominal muscles. Also for your endurance, if you play any sports, and just expanding the breath capacity, expanding the amount of oxygen your body's able to hold. And it's just such a powerful breathing tool.
I just want to say for myself, like I used to have a lot of stomach problems, and it was like a stomach bacteria. It was causing me so much nausea and cramping, and breathing has changed my life. Breathing in general, different kinds of breaths, but the breath of fire really helps. It helps to digest because I have a weak kind of digestion. It really helps to digest, and it really helped with whenever there was heartburn and nausea. Like it helped to bring oxygen, bring flow, like fuel, healing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing.
And long distance running is doing nearly the same.
Yeah,
So
you're
with
saying.
long distance running, you take 2.5 times more oxygen than normal. So if you run for 3 or 4 hours, there's so much oxygen you cannot believe that you consume. Yeah? So it helps a lot.
And I believe the numbers go something like 15 minutes of this breath of fire is equivalent to like an hour of running or intense
I
exercise.
can imagine I felt it was the first time. Yeah? So
And like an hour of breath work is equivalent to like running a marathon or something. Yeah, so you can really, and there's a lot of ways you can incorporate this breathing in any part of your life. While driving, you can do while washing your hands, just
if you have a long flight in the plane,
sit in the
your
airport.
neighbor will be really a bit.
Especially when you're like around a lot of energies and you're just being really affected. It's a nice way to naturally purge.
Yeah, I did that in the airport too. But I just want to say, I really, for myself, I wouldn't suggest to do it while driving, just because when I was in the shower once, I did a breath and I was in the shower in the hot steam, and it was just after I woke up. And for me, it's really powerful for me, and I kind of lose consciousness. And I actually fell in the shower, hit my head, and I was just on the floor of the shower for I don't know how long.
Too much
So
oxygen.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know what it was,
And
but
being mindful that depending on what kind of shower you're in, it's hot water, it's steam, so you're moving lymph. So just be mindful if you're moving lymph in some other way, be mindful of how much breath work you're doing. The breath is just about being with yourself for sure. So yeah, I believe there's, anyone know what time it is? I think we have one, like 11 o'clock or something. So yeah, so we got one more breathing exercise. I forgot to mention, I mean, this is a little bit more advanced, but there's like the bandhas and the locks. So there's like 5 major bandhas, which is Sanskrit for like locks, which are locking mechanisms in the body. It's kind of like thinking about creating like a vacuum seal in your own body to hold in the energy. So there's the root lock, which most of us are familiar with. The muscle you use to stop your pee, and just squeezing the pelvic floor or Kegels and those things. So that's one. The abdominal lock, a good way I like to think of it, or I was taught, is you kind of imagine rolling all of your internal organs up into your rib cage. So that's one. And there's easier postures to practice it in. This is a bit of a difficult posture. A lot of times you can like sit on your knees, and I guess maybe that's better on the it just maybe makes it more easier. And if sitting on your knees is uncomfortable, you can always put the cushion between your calves here, something like that. All right. So just get that bandha. So it's at the root, the abdominal Uddiyana bandha. There's the throat lock, which is really just kind of more like chin to chest, really having the ears over the shoulders. We tend to kind of like jut our head out a little bit and hunch because we have phones and computers and all these different things, but really kind of like really aligning that and releasing the wrinkles from the back.
The third or the fourth?
Third.
Can you repeat that again?
Hmm?
Can you repeat that again, please?
For the throat lock, and I will show from the side as well. You really want to basically just kind of a little bit of tucking the chin into the chest. Not so much that you constrict your breathing, but a bit of a natural, trying to find where your natural spinal alignment is, because most of us have come out of that alignment because of pillows and cars and just so many modern conveniences have taken us out of alignment. So relaxing the shoulders, and a lot of times it's helpful for me to just literally push the chin back. If there's any room for it to go back, then you know you're out of alignment. If you're already there, then there's nowhere for it to go. But if you're here, you can really, you can do it. You can feel like where it stops, kind of.
But what if the back goes very
So yeah, you don't want to be arching.
arched?
So that's becoming aware of the pelvic tilt, and that even helps with the lower lock too. Thinking about like squeezing and thrusting forward. Yeah.
Can the locks happen at the same time?
Yes, ideally you want to, but you may have to mindfully do them one at a time.
Yes. I think one helps the next.
Yeah, they definitely do. Yeah, because if you're already here, then you're.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's 1, 2, 3, and then the next two, the other one is the tongue lock. So just raising the tongue against the roof of the mouth, and that closes up that chakra. And then the last but not least is actually kind of looking in between your eyebrows with your eyes closed. Kind of imagine your third eye in between your forehead. So that's something you can mindfully practice when doing the last part of the breath of fire. When you release, you know. Let's do breath of fire again.
Is there any pause? Maybe noise.
Yeah. It works.
All right, breath of fire. Let's go. Fully exhale, and then engage the locks.